All right, let's jump right in. We're about to tackle one of the biggest opportunities you have to boost your score on the entire ACT math test. We're talking about exponents and roots. Now, I know a lot of people see these and just get a headache, but today we're going to flip that script and turn them into your secret weapon. See this number? This isn't just some random stat. Think of it as a target. This is the score boost you can realistically get just by locking in this one topic. That's right. We're talking 2, 3, even 4 extra points on your math score. And you know what? That can be the difference maker. It can be what pushes you over the edge for that school you really want. And it all comes from getting fast and accurate with these problems. So, the big question is, how do you actually lock in those points? Well, that is exactly what we are going to break down step by step. Let's do this. Okay, think of this part as your strategy session. Exponents aren't just some random topic the ACT throws in for fun. Nope, they are a high-frequency target. Mastering them is, hands down, one of the most efficient ways to raise your score. So check this out. You are guaranteed to see 5 to 8 of these questions on your test. Guaranteed. By nailing them quickly, you're not just getting those points, you're actually banking precious time that you can then spend on those tougher, brain-burning problems later on. It's a double win. All right, let's build your toolkit. There are really only 7 fundamental rules you have to know. Seriously, that's it. Once these become second nature, totally automatic, you can solve pretty much any exponent problem the ACT decides to throw at you. Okay, let's start with the 2 most common ones. They're basically perfect opposites of each other. When you multiply terms that have the same base, you just add the exponents together. And when you divide them, you guessed it, you subtract the exponents. Simple as that. Now listen up, because this is a super common trip-up. Do not get this confused with the last slide. This isn't about 2 separate things being multiplied. This is one power being raised to another power. You see those parentheses? That's your cue. In this case, you multiply. That's the key. Moving on to the distribution rules. These are pretty intuitive. If you've got a bunch of stuff inside parentheses all being raised to a power, that little exponent on the outside gets applied or distributed to every single piece inside. Works for multiplication, works for division. Okay, now for the 2 weird ones that often catch people off guard. First, anything, and I mean anything to the power of 0 is just 1. Don't ask why, just memorize it, it's always 1. Second, the negative exponent. Don't think of it as making the number negative. It's not. It's a flip-it ticket. It gives that term a ticket to move across the fraction bar. If it's on top, it flips to the bottom. If it's on the bottom, it flips to the top. And then the exponent becomes positive. All right, we've got the tools in our toolkit. Now let's see how they all work together. We're going to dismantle a typical multi-step problem you could totally see on test day. Whoa, okay, I know, that looks like a mess. It looks complicated, but I promise you it's just a puzzle. We're going to attack it piece by piece using the exact rules we just went over. No tricks, just our tools. Okay, let's walk through it. First things first, we see that exponent of 3 outside the parentheses. So we use the power rule and distribute it to everything inside. The 2, the x, and the y. Boom. Next, we combine the x terms up top using the product rule. We add their exponents. Then we deal with the fraction using the quotient rule, subtracting the exponents of the variables. And finally, we just simplify the numbers out front. See? One step, one rule at a time. And there it is. All of that mess gets broken down into one clean, simple answer. Totally manageable when you know the rules and have a system, right? So, knowing the rules is one thing, but using them under pressure while avoiding all the little traps the ACT sets for you, that's the next level. Let's talk strategy. These right here are your speed hacks. Seriously, knowing your perfect squares means you're not wasting time factoring. Using your calculator for the big numbers but doing the algebra by hand saves you from silly mistakes. And here's my favorite tip. If you have time, plug a simple number like 2 in for x in the original problem and in your final answer. If the results match, you're golden. It's a fantastic safety net. Okay, I need you to burn this slide into your memory. This is without a doubt the #1 trap on the ACT when it comes to exponents. You cannot distribute an exponent over addition or subtraction. You just can't. It's illegal in math. You have to write it out twice, x plus y times x plus y, and FOIL it. And here is the other major trap. Mixing up when you add exponents versus when you multiply them. Let's just make this super simple. If you see parentheses, like a power raised to another power, you are multiplying. That's the signal. Parentheses mean multiply. No exceptions. All right, we have covered a lot. We talked about the why, the how, and the what to avoid. So let's bring it all together into a clear, simple action plan that you can start using in your prep right now. So here's your game plan. First, you're going to drill those 7 rules until they're as automatic as breathing. Then, you're going to go find those messy, multi-step problems and practice on them. Your goal is to get so good that you can spot the traps before you even fall into them. And remember, if you have a spare 20 seconds, practice that verification trick. It will save you. And really, that's the bottom line here. These aren't just some boring math rules you have to memorize. They're keys. Each one you master is a new key on your keychain that unlocks speed, accuracy, and confidence on the test. You have the blueprint. Now go practice and build that higher score.